And now, a special 2017 kickoff edition of Donny Boast's Friday Football Flash with your host, Donny Boast.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the most wonderful time of the year. The NFL is back and the 2017 season is about to begin. Of course, last year ended with the Patriots winning the Super Bowl. Who would have seen that coming? We will preview the teams and we will explore the league, which I do believe will be a little bit better than worse from last year. I think the bottom teams are going to get even worse, which means the mediocre teams may fare a little better. We start up there in the NFC North division with the Green Bay Packers, because when you have the owner, GM, coach, quarterback connection, and each of those parts are very talented, you're usually going to be very good for a long time. The Minnesota Vikings will come in second there. A year ago, they thought they had all the pieces. They basically still have the same pieces, but they're very close to falling apart. The Lions. Who are you and what do you do? Until you can answer me that, well, I still think they're just mediocre. The Chicago Bears are one of the worst franchises in professional sports, and they'll be lucky if they win 4 games this year. Out there in the NFC South, we begin with the Atlanta Falcons, who pulled off one of the bigger choke jobs in Super Bowl history, if not the biggest choke job in Super Bowl history. Just run the football, guys. That's going to be a tough one to rebound from, and so we're losing Kyle Shanahan. The Bucs keep promising to take that next step, but they haven't yet, which means they probably won't. The Panthers are poised to falter as their one Super Bowl caliber roster continues to decline. I expect a nosedive this year. The Saints are still one of the more saddest stories in football, and the exception to the rule of that coach-quarterback combo. They're still reeling from Bountygate, and the talent just hasn't panned out, but they still have a puncher's chance, as always, with Hall of Famer Drew Brees, the great Drew Brees. The NFC East will be dominated by the Dallas Cowboys, who are my pick to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, but that doesn't mean they'll win it. The New York Giants are always good and will probably make the playoffs again this year, but that doesn't mean they'll do anything. The Eagles are one of those teams that might win a few extra games this year, but it won't be enough to make them a real football team. The Washington Racists won't do half as well as they did last year because they're just not a good enough team to do so, and rightly so. Just change your stupid name already. Nobody wants to listen to this anymore. Racists. The NFC West will be topped by the Seattle Seahawks, even though they are not the powerhouse they once were. The Cardinals seem to be the Chargers of the NFC. Lots of promise if no one was injured or 100 years old. And it's too bad because we like Bruce Arians. The Los Angeles Rams now have Sammy Watkins, a new coach, and haven't moved out of LA yet, so if they score a touchdown this season, that would be good too. The Santa Clara Yorks have a new GM and head coach again. And maybe this time it'll be the right combo, especially considering that John Lynch entered the franchise by slapping the idiot owner in the face. The AFC starts and ends, of course, with the New England Patriots, who will win the division again, will get home field advantage, and go to the Super Bowl and win it all. I'm sure it'll be weird when TB and BB aren't around anymore. Behind them will be the Dolphins, who lost their quarterback, but it doesn't matter, they weren't going to do anything anyway. The Bills are still terrible, but the good news is the Jets are worse. Much, much worse. In the AFC South, the Houston Texans are QB and a running back away from being a major threat to the Patriots, and let's hope that kid from Clemson can catch a spark, because I don't think Tom Savage can. The Tennessee Titans are facing that sort of make or break point. Are they going to take that leap or are they not? And it all starts and ends with Marcus Mariota. They should be a pesky team this year. Moving on to the Indianapolis Dolts, they are squandering a great quarterback in Andrew Luck, and if they don't fire Chuck Pagano soon, it's just unreal how that guy's still coaching over there. He's terrible. They should have canned him after the fake punt. And, you know, they're having ownership issues too now, so that just smells like doom. The good news about Jacksonville is that there are no expectations. The bad news about Jacksonville is there are no expectations. The NFC North will be led by the Pittsburgh Steelers, who will be the biggest threat to the Patriots' run. Their defense is a year better, and their offensive line still a powerhouse. And with Bell, Bryant, and Big Ben, they just might take it home. The Ravens should be better, and the Bengals should be worse. And the Browns, well, here's to you, Cleveland. Let's hope you can win a game. Out there in the AFC West, it'll be the most competitive division in football once again. And I do believe the Kansas City Chiefs will top the division once again. And I do believe this will happen just so we can all laugh at them when they lose in the first round of the playoffs once again. The Oakland Raiders will need to overcome the devastation of last year's lost hopes and dreams with the loss of Derek Carr nearing the end of the season as they were poised to make a Super Bowl run. They must now prove to the world that they are indeed a premier franchise once again, and I think they will catch some exciting stride late in the season, led by Khalil Mack of all players. The Broncos are a Houston Texans clone out west, and the Orange County Chargers are already getting rattled with injuries once again. We're looking at an interesting season, everybody. I think it's time for certain teams to step up and other ones to show us that they are who we thought they were. Bums, losers. If the Jets win more than 2 games, that's a great season for them. If the Bills win more than 4 games, that's a good season for them. Might I note that is both in the AFC East, where again the Patriots are king. You wonder why when you have competition like that. My goodness. As far as the league goes, morale seems to be up aside from the concussion issues. It was a good Super Bowl last year, and there was really no off-field drama this year. No big headlines coming into the season. Some scuttlebutt around Tom Brady, but nothing that's really been too substantial or anything too rattling. So, it's all going to be very interesting, folks. Let's hope there's some good storylines, and most of all, great football. We'll see you here every week on the Donny Boast Football Flash.